Welcome to Liberty Today. On today's show, former Soviet citizen Peter Vydenka discusses America's challenge of freedom. Representative Chip Campbell talks about why South Dakota is #1 in welfare. And Gordon and Ed review the Pennington County Lincoln Day dinner. These stories and more now on Liberty Today.
Freedom doesn't come without a cost, and my friend Peter Vydenka tells about his journey to freedom in this remarkable book. The information on how you can get it will be on the screen. Peter, we've talked about your journey out of Czechoslovakia, but the question I have for you today is, what is it that you see America needs to do, or what's the biggest challenge before us?
Well, I think that we need to keep our freedoms. Freedoms are very important, but freedom is kind of interesting thing. Those who do not have freedom seems to appreciate it more than those who do. Because if you have freedom your whole life, you never experience anything else, you don't really know what you have. And freedom can disappear really fast.
Now that we're seeing our freedoms being just taken away step by step, those of us who have lived in that kind of a free society begin to say, wait a minute,
right?
What do we do?
Yes, but there is lots of people who don't also, which is sad, unfortunately. You know, like I said, the freedom can disappear fast, it can disappear slow. And it's easy to think it's gonna be like this all my life because it was like that when I was born. That's not true. We see the changes already. I'm living in America for 30 years now. I can see the freedom slowly disappearing. They were being chipped away from us all the time. We need to understand that. We need to wake up. We need to keep those freedoms. That's our only hope. That's our only hope. We need to keep our freedoms.
Well, what do you see in the American political landscape that gives you hope?
And in these days, not much.
Okay, well, you're in good company, my friend. There are many of us who think, if not for divine intervention, if God does not intervene, America may not be free.
Yes. I believe that freedom it's begin and ends with the people on the streets. Governments have their own ideas, they do different things, but I believe as far as we, the regular citizens, are gonna keep freedom in our mind and we're gonna understand what's going on, I think the mind power will prevail. But we need to be fully aware of it and we need to understand it. More of us understand that, more chances are that we can keep it, because usually everything flows from the bottom up. And if the more and more of us citizens are aware of our freedoms and keeping them, that eventually it's going to spread up to the top.
Let me ask you another question, Peter. Do you think that it is possible for America to remain free without a reliance on Almighty God?
That's a good question. I don't really have an answer for that. We need to rely on the God, but we also need to rely on ourselves.
In other words, if we don't do something, our freedoms will be gone.
Right. You cannot just sit and think everything is going to be same. If you sit and you do nothing, eventually it's going to slip away from you.
What was the most memorable thing in Czechoslovakia that would mark the lack of freedom?
Well, it wasn't just one thing. You know, our government was deciding and controlling every aspect of our lives. Of course, we didn't have the freedom of speech, religion, or political belief. But those are the big freedoms which we in America talk about a lot and understand them. Yes. But we have many other freedoms which we didn't have, which you join in America. People can travel abroad. People can move from one place to other place. If you want to move to California tomorrow, if you want to move to Spain, you get and you move. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's questioning it. You can change your jobs if you want to. You can quit the job and find different one. You can wear the clothes you want. You can get education. People in Czechoslovakia was limited who is going to get education or not. Our government decided. My parents, for example, not were members of Communist Party. So my brother and I couldn't get higher education. We could go as far as the trade. We could become plumbers, electricians, cooks, auto mechanics. But we could not go any higher. That was reserved for the children from trusted communist families.
And having been there, how do you see that finding its way into America? What are some of the freedoms that we're seeing slip away?
Well, it's being chipped away all the time, and seems like our media are being only one-sided. Seems like they're reporting, our media are turning too much, left, liberal. The conservatism is being pushed away. Freedoms are being pushed away. Our government is taking more and more control of our lives. There is more and more people depending on the government, and the government is putting their nose in our personal lives more and more and more.
Well, I don't know if I've heard it said any more clearly than that. You would be amazed if you put your nose in this book and see what freedom really means to someone who comes from a place where there wasn't freedom. Let's just pray together that America doesn't become that kind of place.